witches, welcome. Tiffany here, as always. I don't know who else it would be. So today is going to be the first, well, I guess technically it's the second in a whole series I plan on doing. I plan on releasing 1 to 2 book review videos a month. Now this is something that I planned on doing at the beginning of starting my channel, but I just got so excited with so many different ideas for, different videos that I totally lost track of it. But I did recently have a few requests to get, book recommendations. And I know that most of those people were looking for like a video with a good list of beginners books or books that I recommend for specific topics. But you know what? I kind of wanted to go more in depth with each book and share, my own personal thoughts on each one and, why I recommend it or don't recommend it or the pros and cons of each one. So let's just break it down and do 1 video per book. All right, so to kick it off, we are going to look at the book Before You Cast a Spell, Understanding the Power of Magic by Carl McColman. I unfortunately don't have a hard copy to hold up and model for you, but that's because I got mine through my library app, and so I read it in PDF format on my phone. If you happen to subscribe to Hoopla, it is on there. However, I've also included a link to the book down below in case you I cannot talk today. In case you wish to purchase it. Now this is a book that I would recommend for absolute beginners, baby witches. I first read this book when I was about a year into my practice, and then I did reread it kind of recently just, to make this video. And while I did find that it had a lot of good advice, that first time I read it a year into my practice, it was a good read, but something that I felt would have been a lot more useful if I had read it at the very beginning. Sorry, my dog has decided she needs to scratch her ears right next to me right now. So if there's any weird background noises, that's what's going on. But I'll be honest, reading it both times, I felt it was a little bit condescending. At times, not the entire read through, but sometimes I was reading it and just like thinking, does he think I'm an 11-year-old who read Twilight for the first time and decided to get into witchcraft? I don't mean any offense to anybody who did get into witchcraft because of a fictional book they read, or who came into witchcraft with unreasonable expectations. So it is a pretty quick read. The paperback is only 192 pages, and I do, despite what I said earlier, I do like McColman's style of writing. It's very chatty and like you're sitting down and having a conversation with him, which also helps it retain a certain like casual, entertaining manner while also making it a really quick read. But I will tell you, McColman's style is very slow. He likes to be super precise with the points he's trying to make. The book was written with the purpose of teaching universal laws and magical principles that are pretty essential to building a foundation for casting spells, living a magical life, and following a magical path, as well as spiritual. And at the very beginning of the book, he makes it pretty clear that that is meant for whether you are pagan, a chaos magician, a member of the Golden Dawn, whichever magical or occult path that you are taking. Now, it's not a spell book, which he will tell you many times throughout the book, it's not meant to be a spell book. And while it discusses the importance of a solid meditation practice and learning to ground and center yourself, he doesn't give any exercises for these things, which is fine. He states very bluntly at the very beginning of the book that that is not the purpose of this book. But he does explain why these things are an important part of the foundation of your practice. For example, McColman does a quick overview of the chakras. And in my opinion, he does a wonderful job of explaining why it's important to keep them balanced, both for your practice and also for your spiritual and just everyday mundane life. Again, he doesn't provide any exercises for how to keep them balanced, but he does recommend 3 books that are just purely all about chakras, because his intent with this book wasn't to write about chakras or how to meditate. And in fact, there's a whole section in the back of this book with further reading recommendations, which I did find to be super helpful. So it is made abundantly clear, like throughout the whole book, that McColman very much believes and abides by the Wiccan Rede, the threefold law, and there are many references to the god and goddess. If you are not a Wiccan, or you are not sure if you're a Wiccan, haven't decided on your path yet, don't let this dissuade you. from, reading this book. So for example, there is a full chapter on ethics, and he does use the Wiccan Rede as a basis for this chapter. Now, I'm not Wiccan. I have my own personal reasons for not following the Rede. I have nothing against it though. But as a guide for witchcraft ethics, I totally understand the merit of it, just as I can appreciate the teachings of Jesus, although I'm not a Christian. So the fact that it was written from a Wiccan perspective talking about ethics didn't take me out of it. I did still find it useful and relevant to my own, moral compass. So those are just the bits that I wanted to touch on. I don't want to go too far into depth in it because, well, you should just read it. Overall, I would say it is a really solid beginner's book. It makes some excellent points and I do recommend it. But to be honest, it's pretty wordy for what it is. Like I said, it's not a long book, but at the same time, a lot of it probably could have been whittled down to like a long essay. But again, it really didn't take that long to read anyway, so... Part of the reason behind this is because McColman has a tendency to beat a dead horse. But like I said, he likes to be very precise in the points he's trying to make. He just wants to be very clear to his audience, to his readers, and make sure that nothing is misconstrued, nothing is misunderstood. It is primarily focused on helping the reader have an understanding of what magic is and what magic isn't, what it does and what it doesn't do. And it provides a lot of sound advice so that one can build a strong foundation for their magical practice and for their magical and spiritual life. All right, that is it for this book. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're interested in checking this book out, that link is down below in the description box. And if you have already read this book yourself, I would love to hear your thoughts on it, whether you agree or disagree with me. Either way, I'd love to hear it. Put those down in the comments below. As always, you can reach me via Instagram or Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, I'm not on Facebook. Email is the word I was looking for. Or hey, just, follow me on Instagram, just cause, I guess. If you enjoyed this video but you're not already a subscriber, you can be one by clicking that little link over there or the bright red button down below. Hit that bell so you get notifications. It's totally free to do and it helps me out a lot. All right, I really look forward to doing more book reviews in the future. If you have any specific ones that you would like to see, please also leave those in the comments below. It might take me a while to get around to those ones if I haven't already read them, because it takes the time of, well, I gotta finish the book I'm currently reading and then I gotta read the new book and then I've gotta make the video for it. So it might be a little bit delayed, but if there's anything that you're like, I'm not really sure if I want to get this book or not, I'll do it for you. It's fine. Just let me know which one it is in the comments down below or shoot me an email. All right, friends and witches, friends and or witches, friends/witches. I will see you all soon.